What's up, buds? I'm Blake, this is Wake and Blake, and today I'll be reviewing a product by Source Vape called the Source Nail. The Source Nail is essentially a portable e-nail and a concentrates vaporizer. It has multiple atomizer attachments, and it has a glass attachment as well as a orb that you can interchange on the device. The contents right out of the box are a Source Nail attachment, a Source Nail bubbler, a Source Nail globe, 3 Source Nail atomizers, which include a titanium atomizer, a ceramic atomizer, and a quartz atomizer. Now they're all kind of basically the same style of atomizer. There are no coils or wicks. All of these can also be used with the nail globe or the bubbler attachment. So you have about 6 different ways you can actually vape out of this. There's a 1 source volt 40 watt temperature controlled battery. It's very precise, and you can actually choose between Fahrenheit, Celsius temperature control, or you can actually go and change the wattage and change the amount of power going to the device. So it's a very smart battery, and it works really well with the different atomizers, since they basically made this battery specifically for concentrates. The other things that are going to come in the box right when you open the case are a quartz dab tool and carb cap, and it also comes with a cleaning cloth and a micro USB charging cable. So it really comes with everything you need to start vaping concentrates and more, and it even allows you to kind of get a feel for your preference as far as the atomizer goes, and as far as what kind of temperature you like to take a dab at. The only daunting part I would say about this vape would be the menus and the settings. Since there's a good amount of menu items on this particular battery, it can get a bit confusing at first, but I'll kind of break it down for you so that you can figure out what atomizer you want to use, what temperature to set it at, and that you can access each of the menus fairly simply. So to break it down, the menu works in a pretty simple style. To power the device on, you're going to click it 5 times, and that's the square power button located just at the top of the screen. When you press that button 5 times, it's going to say hello, and then it's going to give you some information about the device, and it's going to tell you the battery, it's going to tell you the voltage going into it, and then it's either going to tell you the temperature setting that it's at already, or it's going to tell you the wattage depending on what setting you had it on last. To access the main menu of the Source Nail, you're going to press the square power button 3 times in rapid succession after you powered it on. Now, the first set of menus that are going to appear when you click this is going to be the atomizer selection. When you click on atomizer, you can either go through normal, which is going to be your variable wattage, or you can go to Ni200, which is going to be your temperature control, and then there's also an option to exit, which is kind of like a back button, and it's going to take you to the previous menu. So when you select normal, it's going to simply go to the wattage display, and this is going to show you exactly what wattage the battery is outputting, so you can kind of switch it up and down all the way up to 40 watts. The other option in this menu is going to be the temperature control, which is under the Ni200 section. You're going to click on this, and it's going to ask you for an initial resistance test. The initial resistance test is going to basically set the battery to the atomizer that you have attached. So if you have a quartz atomizer on, it's going to read that that's the quartz atomizer, and it's going to know how to gauge the temperature from that atomizer. And the same type of settings are going to occur whenever you interchange each of the atomizers. So you want to go through and hit the Ni200, you're going to do the initial resistance test, and then it'll switch it over to the temperature control mode. I know this sounds a little confusing, but basically you've got 2 modes. You've got your temperature and you've got your wattage. So you can choose whichever you like. I prefer temperature because when you're looking at Fahrenheit temperatures, it's just a little more familiar to me, seeing as I don't usually use a mod box. And that's basically what this is. It's a mod box for vaping concentrates that they've created specifically for concentrates atomizers as opposed to using e-juice. Now, once you've set it on your temperature controlled or your wattage setting, there are a few different options within the main menu. So if you go back to your regular display, which is going to show your wattage or temperature and your battery level, click the button 3 more times to go into the main menu and go to the second setting, which is going to be the NI200. Now in this menu selection, you will be able to select the power level on the temperature control mode. There are 3 different power levels. There's going to be low, medium, and high. This is essentially saying how fast do you want your atomizer to heat up when you have it in temperature control mode. I would suggest putting it at medium or high. Low might be a little bit too slow, but I would try them all out and just see what your personal preference is. The third menu selection item in the main menu is the temperature, and it's actually going to allow you to change from Fahrenheit or Celsius, and then you can change the temperature back to Fahrenheit or Celsius for the temperature control mode, and just select whichever one you prefer. I think this is more of a compliance type of thing so that it can be used a little more internationally, which is nice. Some people might just want to view their temperature in Celsius as well, so that option's available. The fourth main menu item is the display, and what you can actually do here is select it with the main menu button, and then you can flip it 180 degrees so that you can use it horizontally either way and you'll be able to read the display. It's a nice little feature if you just want to customize it a bit, depending on how you like to hold the device. It's a pretty good setting to make it as ergonomic as possible for left-handed and right-handed people, so it's kind of nice that they thought of this. Also, everything on this is being displayed through an OLED display, which is very clear, and it's going to have a lot more detail than something like an LED display would have. The fifth item on the menu is going to be your factory info. This just tells you some information about the device itself when you select that. And your final menu item is going to be exit, which will take you back to your regular screen, which is going to show, again, if you're in temperature control mode, the Fahrenheit, or if you're in wattage control mode, it's going to show you the watts that are being outputted. You can always cycle through to a higher or lower temperature, higher or lower wattage by simply pressing left and right arrows when the device is horizontal. It's a pretty straightforward device once you get a hang of the menus, and it's one of those things that has a bit of a learning curve for a reason, because once you get used to it, it can deliver a lot more power. The atomizers and take a rip, and I'll let you guys know exactly what I think of how it rips on camera. Alright buds, I'm going to go ahead and give the Source Vape Globe e-nail a hit. And it is on 622 degrees Fahrenheit in temperature control mode. Let's go ahead and give it a rip, and I'll tell you guys how it is. Vaping the e-nail or the Source nail with the globe attachment was basically like hitting a very high-powered vape pen. So it was comparable to hitting the Flosstradamus Source Orb XL, but it was a little bit different experience just due to the coil-less atomizer and having that glass globe. I would say it was very comparable in a good way. They're both very powerful batteries and you're able to get a huge cloud. But I would say that it was just a little different in the sense of the airflow, having the globe with the little carb release. I kind of like having the globe carb release. It was a very good way to taste the concentrates that I had in the coil-less and wick-less atomizer on there. I used the ceramic one for the globe, and it ended up tasting amazing as far as the hit that I got, and it gave me a huge cloud. It was a very flavorful but also very thick cloud, so it was exactly what you want out of the vapor production for concentrates. They've actually accurately made something that can heat up quickly enough and stay at the right temperature long enough to vape your concentrates, not burn them, not to melt them slowly, but actually vaporize them just as you would if you were to do a dab at the right temperature. So I think they did a great job with that. And with the attachment, the bubbler attachment, they did an awesome job as well. It's very similar if you guys were to watch my Debato bolt rig review. It's very similar to that, but it has a few different features. The main one right off the bat being the dabbing tool. It's an all quartz dabbing tool. Personally, I'm a crystal person, so I like having all quartz. So it's a little more dab-like when you're using the glass attachment as opposed to the globe, seeing as it is more like an e-nail at that point instead of a giant vape pen. You're going to get huge clouds with a lot of flavor out of both of these, no matter what attachment you're using, due to the battery that they've created specifically for vaping concentrates. The Source Nail is the best way to concentrate. My overall opinion of the Source Nail by Source Vapes is that it's a very versatile and very functional vape. If you're looking for something that has interchangeable atomizers, is very portable, and has the most functionality you can get out of a vape pen on the market today. This is something that hasn't been available on the market before, and you were stuck between either a e-nail, a dab rig, or you were using a wax pen. So this is a nice happy medium between both, and it covers pretty much all of your bases as far as atomizers and as far as temperature control goes. Go out and buy one if you're looking to get the most bang for your buck and you're looking to start out getting some concentrates into your life. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/wakeandblake. Click the link below if you guys want to follow me on Instagram. I'm Blake, this is Wake and Blake, and remember to rise higher than the rest. Pretty strong hitting for a globe wax pen. I'd say that they did a great job, especially the flavor that's maintained with the little too strong. The flavor oh my god. Cut it up. Just like that. It's gonna be a minute. I'm Blake, this is Wake and Blake. Stay high. Fuck.